And then it's just really amazing to connect your physical health with your faith.
Hey there, I'm Ashley, mom of 4 and creator of Reps and Redemption. Join me as I share my passion for health education, explore all things fitness and nutrition, plus share a little faith-filled homemaking along the way. If you're a mom ready to build strength and live a life of epic redemption, this podcast is for you. Let's get after it.
It really sets a positive tone for the rest of the day. And this is kind of a rough design that you will be able to use in your life, for your family, for your kids, and nurture both your faith and your physical health. I'm going to also mention some benefits that I have seen in my own life when I start the day with my focus on God, my health, and just being intentional throughout the day. Now, the first thing, and I just mentioned it, the first step you're going to want to do, just to have a faith, fit, focused morning routine for us moms. And a lot of us are stay-at-home moms, but step one is going to be setting the foundation with prayer and scripture. I've shared on the show recently how much I have struggled with this because my son turned 1 this past July. I have my oldest daughter who's 22. She's an adult. She's a huge help, but she does still live here, and she's in college and interning at our church. And then I have my 7-year-old, my 2.5-year-old, and my 1-year-old, and there's a lot of moving parts, schedules, and we try to keep things together. We try to stay together as a family. We want to be organized. We want to have meals together, but we want to, most of us train jujitsu. I've mentioned this on the show before too. And how do we do all these things? And I've noticed that just finally my son is starting to sleep through the night, and just making it intentional to sit with God first and to read the Bible. And I've really been a lot better this past week after kind of just going through the motions a little bit and reading when my kids are up, which is totally fine because I think it is important for your kids to see you read the Bible and then to read it to them. But as you know, as a mom, a lot of our quiet time can be we're reading for maybe 5 minutes and then somebody needs something, or we got some sibling rivalry going on here. It can get a little bit frustrating if we're trying to focus and we want to hear from God and we only have a few minutes. So starting the day and laying the foundation with having that as a priority. I've seen a difference in my own life. I did it before I got married to my husband, Alex, and I did it as when we were married. We would sit there for 2 hours every Saturday morning or Sunday morning before church with a cup of coffee and just read. Things change when your family grows, and that's okay. But to make it a priority, I think, is really number one. Choose a quiet space, maybe select a specific book of the Bible. These are just some tips, using a prayer journal. I really feel like I could use some extra oomph, I guess, if you will, in my prayer life because I get so distracted. So I've heard of prayer journals and prayer journaling. I've done it before in the past. I know there's specific ones for that. Also, I've mentioned before on the podcast that I attend BSF, Bible Study Fellowship. I will link that in the show notes because it is starting soon and it goes with the school year. And if you have a homeschool location, you can bring your kids up until they're 18, and then they go into the regular congregation and women's Bible study with you. It's amazing. I love that my oldest daughter can come with me. The two of us take the 3 littles to their class. We all are doing the same study this year coming up. 2024 and 2025 is going to be the study of Revelation. And I actually did this before when we lived in Florida, and it was absolutely incredible. I'm very excited for that. So I will be doing Bible passages in the morning. My goal is to have 30 minutes. It's been a struggle, but I believe it can be done, especially with good intentions. And then also just setting up that space and those things that you need before the next day. So I'll set it up tonight, so I am set up for success the next morning. I hope that encourages you and helps you. Step 2 is incorporating gentle movement and stretching. What I tend to do while I'm making coffee, because our coffee making doesn't take, just a push of a button because we make a Chemex. So as I stand there and I pour the hot water, it's probably 5 or 6 pours and it has to drain down through the cone. I will stand there and stretch. I'll stretch out my arms. I'll move a little bit. If I've been up for a while, I'll do some air squats. But I do go to the gym around 11 a.m. almost every day. So I'm not like really trying to get a good workout in unless I know I'm not working out that day. Then I'll probably add in some push-ups or something like that. But this is really going to set you up to get your heart rate moving and to really just enjoy the quiet while you're flowing and getting into your body for the day. Also, another way to move is I love walking in my backyard. It's just filled with trees and, we got houses on either side, but it's just a nice way to do the whole grounding thing before the day starts. And it really helps you get moving, get in a short, whether it's stretch session or if you like yoga or body movement, body weight movement. You can do a lot of, like I mentioned, push-ups, air squats. And then it's just really amazing to connect your physical health with your faith and kind of really, you're doing the first two most important things. First, you're meeting with God and you're moving your body, whether that's your workout, if that's what you need to do for 10 to 20 minutes, because that's all the time you have. I used to do that, but I have for a long time taken my kids with me to the gym, which that'll be another video and another podcast that we can go deeper in. But I think too that it's just a way to refresh yourself and to just be awake and feel alive with the Lord and in your prayer life, reading scripture. And then I think it's a great thing to try. I believe you're going to feel so much better if you meet with the Lord first and then you move your body just a little bit and stretch and really get going for the day. This is going to set the day up for a positive feeling and effect. And step 3, which kind of leads me into step 3, planning the day with intention and focusing on the priorities that align with your faith and your health goals and your family values. So your faith, your health goals, and your family values. What are the values to your family? Because for myself and my family, our faith and our fitness as a whole are very important to us. This is really rare because I hear of a lot of people and a lot of moms that are like, well, I have people in my family that don't really, want to go that direction, or you can lead by example and you can do what you can do. And that's all you can do. Family values for myself and for my husband and for my oldest daughter and for my 7-year-old and my 2-year-old and my little 1-year-old. It's very important to us to read the Bible, attend church. And like I mentioned before, we will be attending BSF. This is something that I started when I was pregnant with Azariah, and I believe at the time my bonus baby, who's now 22, I believe she was maybe 12 or 13, and she didn't live with us quite yet, but I was in it and I was ready to really dive in deep. It's really deep study of the Bible, and it's really amazing. And I think when you plan with intention, and you focus on the things that are important to your family and yourself, you really can't go wrong. You can create a planner, your own planner. I use Canva to create a lot of templates. If you're interested, just let me know in the comments. And you can organize your tasks, your meals, all your fitness activities. And another tip is, another thing I should mention, which I've mentioned before, is that we really value our health. We want to play outside. We want to go to the gym together as a family. Most of us train jujitsu. My husband now for over 2 years. Same with my 7-year-old. And then my oldest daughter and I, we started about a year ago, a little over a year ago. And I absolutely love it. That'll be for another time. But it's really important to really balance what you're doing in the home and with your family, being a mom and prioritizing your faith as a family, your family values, and your health. And this is going to help you balance those things that are most important to you and not have that mom guilt that people talk about. Like, I hear some people talk about it, and I used to have some, and once in a while I'm like, oh, I should be home and putting my daughter to bed. But actually I've only trained one night this week, so it's one night and she gets extra time with dad, or maybe it's 2 or 3 nights, but it's most of the time I am with my babies. And I think that we can hear a lot of oh, you shouldn't do that. Since you're home, you need to be home all the time. Or since you're not home, you need to be home all the time. And I think it's kind of like, well, what if you decided with your spouse, between you and your husband and you and the Lord and your family as a whole, what are your family values? So we all work together to get us all to where we need to go. And it's seriously a blessing. So don't forget that. That was step 3. I'm going to go through all the steps towards the end. Step 4, prepare a nourishing breakfast. Now, I'm going to just explain the importance of starting the day with a healthy, nourishing breakfast to fuel your body and your mind. But if you are one of those people that you just don't feel hungry yet, and you would rather save your calories for later on in the day, or after you've had maybe a little bit of fruit and some coffee with some water, don't forget your water, maybe that's what you want to do, and that's okay if that's what your body is used to, and you know that you're hitting a certain amount of calories throughout the day, and you're hitting a huge amount of, well, for me, I guess I would say huge amount of exercise. When I say huge, I guess I mean an intense amount of strain for your body. Now, even if you're not doing that yet, that's okay. Just start somewhere. And I'll have a lot more to share with you on just getting started. With your breakfast, for example, a nutritious breakfast supports both physical and mental clarity. And I listen to my body. So if I wake up and I'm starving, I'm going to eat breakfast. I'm going to drink a glass of water. I'm going to wait 10, 15 minutes. While I make breakfast, it's usually going to be 3 eggs and half a sourdough bagel. I make it homemade. I don't feel bad about eating bread. I eat a lot of bread and I don't feel bad about it. Or it'll be a yogurt bowl with granola. And then I'll also do like fruit on the side and maybe even add a bagel as well, because I know I'm going to be going to the gym. Now, if I'm not hungry, I will do something very light, maybe just a fruit bowl and a rice cake. But I do plan on, because of all the things I do all day long, I do plan on eating a nutritious breakfast. And then also my kids eat the same thing, but just smaller portions, because we are not about food waste. No. And I need to get way better with that, because sometimes I give them way more than they can actually handle. So note to self, step 5, practicing being grateful. I'm going to say that when you end the morning routine, to start your day with gratitude, and just, I've noticed when I just thank God for a few things, or I would show it to you, but my phone is recording me on it. It's a little gratitude journal that just like little moments, like I'll write something in, like my husband brought me coffee, like just being grateful. And it doesn't even have to be something that someone did, because let me be honest, acts of service is my love language. So maybe it's just I walked outside and felt the grass under my feet, and being grateful for something like that, and really just keeping a positive outlook. Sometimes for us moms who have a lot going on, it can be challenging. And it's not because I don't believe it's because we're like downers or something like that, but we just have a lot going on here, and we can get lost with all the things we need to do and just forget to be grateful. And I think it really impacts the day too. Would you agree that just being grateful? I'm going to recap very quickly how we have a faith-filled, fit mom morning, just to help us live the life that we want to live, that we know we're capable of, with energy and peace. And step 1 is setting the foundation with prayer and scripture. Step 2 is incorporating gentle movement and stretching. Step 3 is planning the day with intention. My favorite. Step 4, prepare a nourishing breakfast. Step 5, practicing gratitude. Now, these steps of the morning routine encourages you to find out for yourself what encourages you. What makes you want to get up in the morning? For me, sometimes it is just a cup of coffee, and then I can get moving. What inspires you? How can you create your own step-by-step process that really gets your day going? And maybe it's only a 30-minute routine, and that is okay. It's only going to set you up for success.
If this episode inspired you, will you share with a friend? Remember, this podcast offers health education tips and holistic insights. Please consult healthcare professionals for personalized advice. Until next time, Mama, be bold and live well.